Lady Rose, won't you come out tonight? Wanna see you sparkle beneath that prairie moonlight. Wanna take you dancing so we can hold each other tight. I love you so, my Lady Rose, my Lady Rose.
Hi friends, I'm Jess Lee, and welcome to another episode of Teepee Talks. Here I got a very special guest here. My brother's coming in, Peter. So come on, let's have some fun here. Welcome friends, Teepee Talks, Teepee Sessions. We're gonna have my special guest here right now is my brother Peter.
Oh,
We go way back, a long time. We have known each other, and well, we started off in the music business together.
That's correct.
Do you remember any tunes or anything like that?
Oh, there's a few I still remember, Jess, but
I
I've left this 30, 40 years ago, but
A little more than that, my friend. I think it's been over 40 years since you've been in the music business. But I've been, yeah. So let's try this and see if I can harmonize with you. Do you remember the tune "All of Me"?
Sure. Want to give it a shot?
Give it a shot.
Hey, folks, remember some of the words might be off, but we're going to rock and roll.
We're going to try it.
Fun. Want to count
Yeah,
right?
just whip it right in. We'll see where we go.
1, 2, 3, 4. All of me. Why not take all of me? Can't you see I'm no good without you? Take my lips, Lord, I'll never use them. Get a piece of my heart, oh yeah, I'll never use it, oh yeah. Ah, your goodbye left me with eyes that cry. And how can I know that I go on, baby, without you?
Yeah.
All right, you're so far, man. Hey, you took the part that once was my heart. So why not take all of me? Let's take her home now. So why not take all of me? Right on.
Hey, that wasn't
That was
bad, brother. Holy
fantastic
man.
for 40 years. Not bad, man.
Hey, you want to take it on the road again?
Oh, no, thank you.
No, not allowed, you know. Anyways, but we kind of lost touch there when you moved to Southeast Asia. I
That's
think it was
right,
back
yeah.
in 2000. So
Yeah, 2000.
20 years ago. What were you doing over there?
Well, I went over there into Southeast Asia, and actually, the real truth is I made a deal with God.
Nice.
And I said I would help folks out, and we were in the health business, all right? And we created a lot of incredible products that could be a benefit. I made a deal because my wife was passing away, and
Yeah. Hold it there, man. I know what you're feeling, brother.
so I made a deal.
Yeah.
And I went to Asia, and we opened a clinic.
Yeah.
And we treated over 200,000 people.
Yeah, I know. I mean, my dad went over there, and he spent I don't know, what, 5-6 years or something over. You know, like he went back and forth, and he would come home and he would tell me what you were doing. He said, "It's amazing what your brother's doing over there." He said,
It was
you
incredible.
won't believe, you know, some of the stuff and the healing modalities, you know, that he's come across to heal people. It's just absolutely wonderful, you know. So I felt very proud of that, you know, that here we are, you know, we're far away from each other, but we're still trying to,
for sure,
enlighten the folks about what's going on, and also, you know, we're actually coming up with solutions to, you know, some of these medical problems.
Absolutely correct.
So I was pretty amazed and proud of that.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jess, when we did that work, and 200,000 people came 18 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And it was actually, the whole clinic episode was actually for me. It was my healing. So I would waken up. And because serving all other people and seeing all the trials and tribulations and horror that they go through, and this new products that we brought out, which is, I can say honestly, it's not of this world. It hasn't been on the earth for a long time, but it has come back, and it was used in the clinic, and the phenomenal response of the healing of all the people was phenomenal. And our company was Kwanjai International, all right, and we set up on a tropical island, and all these people come and all this type of thing, and we won 17 world awards. We were invited to look at the government of China, India, different places to bring our techniques in, and of which I refused all until we finished our work and perfected what we're doing.
Right.
But Asia, for me, and you remember, you and I went into Asia in 1976.
75?
Was it 75, 70?
Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah, we went over there and did some stuff over there in Hong Kong.
76, yeah.
Was it 76?
Yeah, it was 76.
We were there over together, and it's a whole different world over there, a whole different... I'm a Canadian, I was born here, but when you go over to these other countries, you get your eyes opened up. And on my wife's deathbed, she told me this incredible thing 2 days before she was dying, that the end of the world is coming. And you have to go to Thailand. And so I went to Thailand, did my work, and man, you wouldn't believe the stuff that's happened with me. Yeah. There was stuff like aliens coming and spirits, and we went into all this type of stuff. And you know, Mom would always come over and visit with us. Well, one time when Mom was over there, I had this awakening vision. And you discussed this earlier in your other talks, that you talked about what happened with Mom and that. Well, I had this vision. I went to Mom and I said, Mom, tell me about the aliens. And she looked at me square in the eye. She turned ashy white and she said, how do you know? And I said, Mom, I had a vision. Tell me now about the aliens. And she said, what happened? And I told her my story, what I seen, and she got tears in her eyes. And then I said, now tell me the truth.
She was only 14, maybe 14, 15 at the time, because she was
just a young girl.
With you.
Just a young girl. And here she tells me this story and it goes like this. And basically, just recalling her words, she said that she was at her grandparents' house or something, visiting in the winter time, and she was walking home about 7 o'clock at night, way out in the country roads, right?
Yeah.
And when she was walking, she said a bright light came and took her up into some spaceship, you know? And then in that, she was telling me that there's these big, tall aliens, really tall ones. And they were working on her, telling her not to worry about things.
The tall grays, I think they were.
Yeah. They're not these little ones that everybody's showing. They were a tall one, but very tall. And she said there's about 3, 4 of them around her, telling her in telepathy, we're not going to hurt you, we're not going to do nothing. And she was doing this type of thing. But the interesting point of this whole thing was, I was inside her at this type of thing. And the interesting thing is, I have all the memories of this.
Wow.
And I've carried this all my life, and I kept it secret all my life because I don't want to.
Because I didn't know anything about it until 2012 when you came over for a visit.
Yeah, I never told anyone this stuff because right away you're a psychopath lunatic.
Yeah,
if you start talking about aliens.
Imagine her at that young age.
Imagine when she went back in the 50s, for Lord's sakes, you know.
Yeah.
And so all this stuff came up, and I can definitely say that 100% unequivocally, no one can tell me there's not aliens here. I have seen them. I have witnessed multiple where they visit us. In fact, one time Mom and I, we were out on our land. We had a beautiful piece of land, and these plasma beings came out in front of us. And oh man, and that sounds like what I heard you were discussing about that one when you.
It sounds like the same group.
The same type. And these plasma beings, and I bought a brand new camera, $2,000. I just bought a brand beautiful camera, and here's this plasma being up in the air, and I shot pictures, and this voice came into my head and said, we'll let you to photograph them now, but you're coming back to this land because we're coming to pay you a visit again. But they burnt my camera out. And so I sent it back to the big company in Japan, and they said they'd never seen anything like it. It burnt right through the very screen. And that plasma being fried that camera. So because I tried to get another camera.
They got the frequencies,
and so after that, I stayed away from my own land because I was afraid. I've never experienced that type of thing. So they said to my mind, you're going to come back again, Peter, in April. So this happened. The first one was back in December. So I stayed away. I have to honestly say, when I seen that plasma and I thought in my mind, I wish it would come closer, it started moving. Yeah. I never thought in my life my legs would start wobbling and be chicken shit.
Yeah.
I was terrified. And I said to him, I'm not ready for this.
Yeah.
And guess what? That thing stopped right there. But the message was, you will come back. So I never went back to my own land. So I had about 45 Thai staff working there. and I got Mom and all my kids and family, and I went out there with about 75 people because I didn't want to be alone. I was afraid.
Right.
And I'm serious.
Well, sure, the unknown. I mean, like, who wouldn't be afraid?
Exactly. So we're down there, and they told me at 10:45 they're going to appear in the sky. And so this is in the evening. So I said to my friend Randy, I said, put 3 chairs down on the beach front. There's going to, never mind what's going to happen. He put 3 chairs down on the beach. All the Thai people and all the family, they're all partying, having a great time. But I called Mom, said, Mom, come with me. And Mom and I and Randy sat down on the ocean. And they asked me, Mom said, what's going on? I said, you're going to see a show, the lights we've never seen before. That's what they told me. But I don't want to be alone.
Wow.
And I'm telling you, Jess, what happened? Poof. One, it looked like a spaceship. These were not plasma. This was like some sort of ship or something.
Yeah,
and all of a sudden, one popped in the sky, right? And a beam of light went into the ocean. They were drawing something out of the ocean. And it came out as a white blue light going into their space vehicle. And the next second, poof, another one. There were hundreds upon hundreds upon hundreds
of light ships.
Light ships all drawing out of our ocean. You know, they're drawing this white, blue light. They're doing something. And we're sitting there. Mom's like, oh my God, I've never seen anything like Randy's mouth is hanging down. And we were sitting there, and all of a sudden in the water, they sent blue crystal light. And I said, wow, let's go pick that up. So I called all the people and I said, I want you to run down, pick these blue lights up out of the water. And when they did that, I don't know what happened, but they took out all 75 people, put them to sleep. And there's only sitting in chairs me, my mother, and Randy. And we stayed there all night, and they came around us. And I called a friend on the telephone who has some business in the space with some of the internal governments. He was on call whenever spaceships. I called him and I said, hey man, something's happening big time. And this guy said, listen, they did all the stuff by using sound. And so he said, simple to do is just go out there and sing do, re, mi, fa, sol. And I said, are you serious? I call an expert. You want to do a comedy like this? So Mom and I and Randy went out there and we stood up there and these spaceships over us. And we went, do, re, mi. And I looked up into a spaceship. I looked up in the ship. It was just a scale, right? Yeah. Do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. Yeah. And I looked up, and there were 3 aliens in a window laughing at us like we're a bunch of retards. and so that was one time. And
that would kind of leave me feeling, I don't know.
And so, hey, it gets more exciting. After that was done, they sent me the blue light, and that was a very specific reason, which I can't discuss. That's for the future when it comes. But some other strange things happened. I had, at this time, 45 Thai staff working on our property, and I get a phone call from the head man, and he said, we have emergency. There's a Sasquatch. They have a different name, but he said, there's a giant here. He's about 10 feet, I think they said about 4.5 meters tall, and he's walking with 2 dragons on our land. And the dragons were about, I don't know, maybe 4 feet off the ground. And they called me, what do we do? And I said, just don't do anything. Stay in your cabins. And the Thai said, the 2 dragons and the Sasquatch walked right through their camp, and they were all petrified terror. And they said, what should we do? And I said, don't do anything. Just don't do anything. And they did that. And after I asked, what are they doing now? And they're standing on the beach looking at a full moon, these dragons and this Sasquatch thing or whatever it was. And then it walked back to the camp and they disappeared into some vortex. All right.
Wow.
And on this land, spheres would come up all the time. And there must be these plasma beings. I'll tell you what, just what I experienced in Asia. And I've been out of the country for so long, and I turn on the television sets and I see these other guys all bringing out what they're disclosing and what you're bringing out. It's about time. I think that people need to know what's going on here. Everything that you think and feel is not really what's happening in this world. There is
that's true.
Something else happening. The masses follow one way, but there is a secret side, another side. And I've heard talks and things, and I don't want to get into the depth of where I've heard, but we're not alone, Jess. There's multiple, right? And your experiences, what you shared, phenomenal.
There's it's high time that this has to happen, because you know, I'm at 67 now. You're 69. Whatever. We got nothing to hide anymore.
No,
I mean,
no.
I think the time for truth telling is really important right now for everybody. You know, come on, folks, this is real. You know,
I agree 100%, and in my opinion, again, opinion means nothing. But for all you folks out there who've had some of these type of experiences, and you hold them and you keep it secret from your families, you can't do it. Something happened. You were chosen. You're special. Right, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people out there have had these type of things happen to them, but now is the time, folks. My brother Jess has put out Teepee Talks, and holy moly, he started off on the alien side, and you know, this is a very controversial subject, but this is a subject that needs to be brought out now. We are not alone. And there's good and bad, like you guys have discussed before.
Yeah.
But we're not alone, and we're in the greatest period of time, in my feeling. And I think we're going to have. Hang on, folks. You're going to see some great stuff coming up in the future. You not agree with that, Jess?
Oh man, do I ever, Pete? And you know, I just want to, you know, like, thank you for telling this story and you know, being so, you know, outgoing with it, because it's not an easy story to tell. I mean, I was you know, hoping that you would tell the story.
I told some people, they as soon as I said, "Hey, guess this," you're a nutcase.
Oh yeah.
And I feel sorry for all the people out there, because they have to hide all their life, like our poor mother.
Yeah.
You know, 50 years, 60, 70 years, she kept this secret, and I could never understand it. I want to back it up. I was staying with my mom. In the middle of the night, she would wake up screaming and screaming, and I'd rush in and I say, "What's wrong, Mom?" And she said, "They're chasing me. They're after me."
Yeah.
And that's what kind of triggered something happened with my mother. But when she come into Southeast Asia, and I had that vision, Mom opened up, Jess.
Yeah.
And my mother is the truest
No, I
human
seen when
being.
Mom come back, and she was just you know, a completely different person. You know, she looked healthier. She just the change in her face and her body and everything was just wonderful. I was so happy for her that she went over there to spend some time with you. You know, and you know, hopefully she'll come by here today, and
Wouldn't that be nice?
maybe we can get her on here, and
that would
maybe
be
she can
beautiful.
talk about a few things. Wouldn't that be nice?
That would be beautiful. You know, Jess, over there, we treated so many people. We had miracle upon miracle, all right?
Yeah.
And of course, because when you bring the good in, you get attacked by all the darkness.
Yeah.
And so when you come in to try and help your fellow man and share things that could enhance their life, you set into motion a darkness that moves forward to put a check in to stop you. But I want to share with you from my heart that we have brought in a product into this world that every man, woman, and child should have an experience, and it's been kept, and it's been written in the ancient legends and all these different types of things, but it's here, and I can only now, in my own thoughts, there has to be a reason why this is brought forward. That means a very massive shift and change is going to happen to this planet.
It's a huge consciousness shift.
Exactly.
It really is, and it's well past time. I mean, like, this should have happened 50 years ago, 100 years ago.
They have been, when I use the word they, we'll leave who they are. It's irrelevant.
Exactly.
But what they're not telling us the truth. They've been hiding this for so long.
Yeah.
And they create these smoke screens that we all get lost, and there's so much disinformation out there.
Yeah.
And when people ask me, "What do you think?" and I say, you know, truthfully, believe everything, believe nothing, and when you do that, you come closer to the truth. So, are there aliens here? You bet your bottom dollar there's aliens here. There's lots of different types of groups and beings that don't even look.
I'm good with it.
Me too.
I'm personally good with it myself, because what we've had to live through on this earth, you know, for such a long time, you know, just like the sheer meanness. And the wars and the famines and over again. There's just no need for this. You know, like, we have a bountiful earth. We have everything here. Nobody lacks for anything.
No, they don't. That's why I can never understand. Nobody asks a question.
Nobody knows how to share.
No,
like,
that's right.
These people don't know how to share.
No, they don't. And the worst one that touches me the most of all is the usury of humanity. All based upon the premise of greed. But makes me more sick is that millions of children leave this earth every year and nobody does anything about it.
Yeah.
You know, there's hundreds of thousands in this country, and every year they disappear. Where are the children going?
Where are the children
Truthfully.
going? Yeah.
And then how many adults and children go missing off this planet? No one does nothing. With all this technology you're telling me, we would know we're tens of millions of people. And then why are all the people starving to death in the world? Millions every day dying.
Well,
It's time.
I
think
was-
what you're
yes.
doing, what you're doing right now
Is
to
important.
bring out, I think it's very
important, and
or
what
else-
you've been doing is very important. I mean, and you know, more yet to come, because the healing modalities and the product that that you have,
phenomenal. Every
it
person.
works. It works. You know, I've tested it myself
It's a miracle.
with friends, and they can't believe
No, it's the
what
real
all about.
McCoy, the real thing.
So this is what we need to get out, to the whole world. Share this with the whole world, and it's not for profit. I mean, we have to get rid of this. Well, how much money am I going to make? Crap,
God,
I mean, look, what's in it for me? There's service to self and there's service to others.
People are closed their hearts up. Not the people; they've been brainwashed into this
Yeah.
type. But nobody
No,
wants
it's
to
not
show
their
their
fault.
heart. They're not coming from a common sense point of view. They're not
Yeah.
coming from their heart.
Yeah,
They're coming from program from the mental plane.
Yeah.
Which is all mixed up and terrible.
I know I don't know nothing, Pete.
Yeah, I know
because the
nothing.
more I live every day, the more I'm going, holy man, it's just like
Just when you
things
think
are
you got it,
changing.
you know nothing.
You know nothing.
It starts all over again.
That's my mantra. I know nothing, and I'm fine with that because it's all unfolding, before us, and hopefully we can get a bunch more of these Teepee talks in here. But Pete, thank you so much for sharing
love
this
you,
again,
bro.
man. I love you
Love
too,
you.
man. Awesome, you've been so much.
I love you.
Well, folks, there you go. Hope you enjoyed the show and tune in. There's lots more.
My Lady Rose, won't you come out tonight? Wanna see you sparkle beneath that prairie moonlight. Wanna take you down.